Hey guys, I've been absent a lot. I apologize, but this video is to explain why. Over the last couple of weeks, it's been extremely stressful here. Lots of things going on, and I will explain each of them in depth, but as quickly and concisely as I can. I'll start off with the highlights, the good stuff that's been going on. Thursday night, Matt and I had a fancy date night, and it was really nice. We both dressed up, and we went to Gozen. It's a really good sushi place, and I got the two sushi rolls that I always get. I usually get the king crab roll, which has crab, salmon, and avocado and rice. It's very good. I highly recommend it. And some of you watching who have difficulty digesting gluten or dairy, you guys would be safe to eat that one because there's no dairy and no wheat. The second roll I always get is the Philadelphia roll. It has salmon, cream cheese, asparagus, and some rice. It's very savory. It's a different flavor, but I've grown to really love it. So I got those two rolls, and he tried a few of each of the rolls, and I think I got him hooked on sushi, so I feel successful in that. And he got a 2-pound lobster and New York steak, and he shared that with me. And we also got the egg fried rice and the stir-fried vegetables. I love Gozen. They're a bit pricey, but the food is so worth it. And another nice thing is they're very conscientious. Bleh, I can't even English right now. They're very conscientious about people with food allergies. When I told them if I have any gluten, I'm going to be very, very sick tomorrow, they were very careful in making sure I only got gluten-free soy sauce. For a while, I didn't even know that was a thing, but now that I do know, I'm happy to be able to eat some Chinese food again. And some Japanese food, obviously. And so Matt and I had a really good feast Thursday. And we both had leftovers, which were awesome. I finished mine yesterday while watching The Jungle Book on Netflix, so that was fun. Another good thing is, although I'm still having gut trouble, which is a bad thing, I'm back on the appetite stimulant I took last year. When I first started, you guys saw how very thin I was, and I got looks everywhere I went like, does she eat? Is she anorexic? That's not at all the case. I love food. Being Italian, the love of food is in my blood. It's just I would get horrible and sometimes crippling nausea if I tried to eat the foods that I used to eat all the time. Like, one of my favorite go-to things is a bowl of rice with butter, cheese, and salami. So very savory, but the grease would just make me very, very sick. So it was very disheartening when I had to say no to that. And so now that I'm back on the stimulant, and I have been for a few days now, I should gain back the 8 pounds that I've lost over this last month and a half. So that's good news. And other good news is Matt and I are doing great. We're both very happy. Those of you who have been with me in the beginning of me rebooting my channel, you all know that I was super pessimistic and certain that I would never be with anyone else. And some of you told me that I was way wrong and that in time I would find someone better. And to those of you, I give you permission to say I told you so. I'm happier than I've felt in a long time, and happier than I ever thought I'd feel again. And we're both very happy. So that's good news. Now the bad news. Darcy's been very sick. She has been for a while now. And a couple weeks ago, she started a liver medication, and we changed her diet because her liver enzyme count was really high, and she was drinking water all the time and having to pee a lot, like she was trying to flush out her liver. We had her on medication for a week and a half. And then a few days ago, we did more blood work. Instead of getting better, her liver enzyme count was higher. So she's really sick right now. But you wouldn't know by looking at her right now. And we had an x-ray of her organs done too. Because with her weight loss, her hind section is thinner, to where you can easily feel the bones. But her chest and abdomen haven't changed in size at all, which is not normal. Even the vet said so. So we had an x-ray done to figure out why. Didn't show anything abnormal, except we found out that her liver is 1/3 to 1/4 of the size that it should be. And the vet doesn't know if she's always had a liver that small or if it's a new development. But at this point, it doesn't matter. All that matters is my baby is sick. We put her on new medication a few days ago, and the vet said that they'll do another blood check after she's been on this new medication for a week or so. And if her levels still are not better, he said she only has a few weeks. But if she responds well to this medication, he's given her a year. I've had this dog for 9 years now. And you guys know how attached I am to her. So it's really hard knowing that she's not doing well. I'm not ready to say goodbye to her. And I don't want to keep her here if she's going to be in pain and unable to enjoy life anymore. She's not at that point yet. She still is able to enjoy things and be happy, which I'm thankful for. But she's drinking water constantly, having to use the bathroom constantly. And lately she only eats her food if it's garnished with something special. We tried wet dog food for a while, and it worked for a few times, but then she lost interest. Now we're giving her some bacon bits just to flavor it up for her, and she's eating a little better, but not enough to make us feel like she's out of the woods. And those of you who love your pets as much as I do, you know how painful it is to hear that your fur baby is going to be around a whole lot longer. And I've had this dog through some of the worst times in my life. She was here when I found out I would never be able to have my own kids. She was here when I lost a bunch of really close friends. When I found out about the celiac, the GERD, and the IBS. And she was here through both of my breakups. All the rougher points in my life, she's been there. And there's no love as great as that of a loyal animal. And as you can see right now, she looks pretty content. Just resting right now. But I'm a worrywart by nature. I've always been that way. Fun fact, when I was a little kid and my mom was having difficulty in her pregnancy with my brother, I worried so much about it that I got ulcers at 3 years old. So I've always been a warrior by nature. I'm very thankful to have Matt at my side right now because he's been very comforting and helpful in reminding me to look at the positive and to enjoy whatever time I do have left with her so that I can make her remaining days with us as happy as possible. And so I'm trying to do that. And it's just really tough right now. Because I'm not ready to say goodbye to this big baby. Right there. What is it? Do you hear noises? I'm just not ready to give her up yet. So I could use prayer for her, for my family, because we're all stressed out about her. And also, my grandparents on my dad's side are not doing too well. They both have dementia and it's getting worse. They live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and one of the traditional foods there is a pasty. It's basically similar to a Hot Pocket, only it's shaped like half of a circle, and it's filled with gravy, meats, and vegetables. Before I had the celiac, I would have one or more every time I visited. And my grandma's been going to the same pasty store for decades, and she was unable to remember how to get to it. And so my dad and his sisters are going to have to put them in a home, but my grandparents insist that they're fine and they don't need to. So that's a lot of stress as well. So this family is just really stressed out right now, and we could really use your prayers and your encouragement right now. I will do my best to keep you guys updated on my public Facebook page. There's a link to it in my channel art. And those of you who don't have a Facebook, I'll try to give updates on Twitter, but I can't guarantee anything because I rarely use it. But that's why I've been gone a lot. Just dealing with too much stress. And it's the kind of stress that leaves you drained and without motivation for much. But I'm going to try and do a fun video on Thursday and possibly one tomorrow. But I don't know how that'll go since tomorrow's Easter and my family always has a big get-together on Easter. But I'll keep you guys updated as much as I can. And I thank you guys for being here. And I know I'm subscribed to a bunch of you guys who are also subscribed to me. I'm sorry I haven't watched your videos, but I just haven't had the motivation for much lately. So thank you guys for your understanding and for being here for me. Love you all, and I'll just keep you guys updated. Hope you guys have a good one.